Hi guys, another quick video. Just going to be doing a little project for my daughter. She's wanting a raised flower bed, and I told her a few ideals that I had, and she told me a few ideals she had, and she had seen some pictures on the internet, and so this is what we got. Here you can see an old tire and just basically some old cut off pieces of pressure treated lumber. They was 2x6s and I cut them in two. Of course I made the X there, the stand that goes on the bottom, screwed them together. But stay tuned and I'll show you how we're going to work this and get it together. Okay guys, to make the legs, 4 legs here, what I've done, I put a mark 2" on one end of the leg and a mark 2 3/4 on the other end of the leg. I'll take a lid from an old medicine bottle and I'll line it up here flush with this line, and I'll just start here and I'll come around the back side, and then I'll come down here below the line and I'll flush it just like I did before up here, flush it to the wood, the cap with the wood, and then I'll mark the bottom part of the leg, just round it off. And you see then we got it's kind of like the old lined foot claw on furniture, and it comes back around this way. Now we'll join the 2 3/4 line with the back side of the mark here of the medicine lid. And now what we have is the beginnings of the cutout, which I'll cut this out with a scroll saw. And I'll do 4 of these to go on the bottom of our flower bed. Okay guys, here's the legs that I cut out with this little scroll saw right here. And they turned out fairly well. I also sanded them a little, the edges and so forth, and getting them prepared. Forgot to mention a while ago on this X bracket here that I took and set my table saw to where it got the measurements here, the width, you know, the thickness, and I divided it in half, and then I run it through there and kept passing it through until it cut out a notch on both boards halfway through. And then when you turn them, flip them and put them together, of course it's flush, you know. And then I put screws, 4 screws in it on the other side through to hold it together. Now as you can see, these legs will go on, whoops, these legs will go on as such on all 4 corners, and we'll mount the tire to that. And that's coming up, the prep of the tire, and I'll show you how I do that and so forth. Stay tuned. Okay guys, I wanted to show you this tire. I wiped it down so that you could see it clearer. But as you can see, these marks that was on it from the makers, I'm going to put those to get used. I'm going to take a drill bit first. I'm going to drill me a hole just to get started, a big, good size hole, and then I'm going to take a Sawzall. I'm going to start from this line. You can see it's got half lines and full lines, so I'm going to start from this line. I'm going to come in, and I'm going to come halfway, and then I'm going to meet the full mark again. Come halfway, and I'm going to meet the full mark again, all the ways around the tire. So to give it a design cut here, and I'll show you how that's going to turn out and what that's going to accomplish later. But I just wanted to show you, I kind of lucked out on this tire. It already had marks on it, but if you have a smooth tire, you know, you can make these marks. You would start here, make a mark, come straight over, make a mark, come through, just like slicing a pizza, you know, until you get equal amounts and get the design that you want. But this tire had the marks already, which was very convenient for me. So I'll drill it, I'll take the Sawzall, I'll cut it out, and I'll show you how this old tire is going to play into the flower bed. Okay, we got all the cut wood pieces screwed together to make the stand. So we'll move on to finishing out the tire piece
and I'll get back with you. Okay guys, been kind of rainy today, but it was last night. Today's not so much, but kind of got some rain water in the tire. But I just wanted to show you, I took the Sawzall, cut it out according to the way that I had it laid out there. I showed you in the previous video. So we'll remove this piece, and we will take this tire and get all the water out of it, turn it inside outward, and I'll be back with you to show how we're going to mount this. Okay, we got it flipped inside out. Now you can see a little more about how it's going to look. This is the part that we cut out earlier. I turned the tire inside outwards. At the end of the peaks, that's where I drilled in, and it left a little burrs. I took these industrial Fiskars scissors and I just kind of trimmed that off on the edges a little bit and got it to looking a little better. Now, like I said, our next step is going to be to mount this onto this. And of course, there's going to be a hole in the bottom. So after we get this screwed onto this and mounted good, we're going to insert a piece of tin to put in the bottom of that. If you guys have plastic barrels, you could take a lid and put in there, whatever you need to hold your soil in. Then they'll, of course, line that with plastic, gravel, and then your soil for your plants. And that's only after you get it painted or stained or whatever you decide to do. So stay tuned. Okay guys, I cut a 22 inch by 22 inch piece of tin with the tin snips there. You see the little pieces cut off. I cut them off of the corners of the 22 inch pieces, and it fit perfectly down in the tire where I wanted it. I put screws in the cross members of the pressure treated underneath the wood, screwed into that, hold it in place. So now, you know, all she has to do is maybe put a piece of plastic down and put her some Riverstone, gravel, whatever she wants to put in there, and her topsoil on top of that, and plant her flowers. Turned out okay. It looks pretty good. Did go around it and, you know, like I said, trimmed this up a little bit with some scissors and nips. And you can leave it like it is. You could paint it. I've seen it, people do different ways and different things with it. I've seen them turn it into, you know, the nice flowers that hangs over, the hanging basket style. I've seen them put strawberries in it. You know, you could plant anything you wanted to in this. The tools that you're going to need is, I could lay them out here for you. Tin snips to cut your tin. The hammer, you know, of course, you know, with the punch. That's what I put holes in the tin so that the screws would go through easier. And of course your drill driver. And on the legs I use a scroll saw, but you guys could use a jigsaw, whatever you want. Scroll saw easier and faster for me. But made a nice little project. It's fun making it. Looks like it's turned into a nice sunny day now after the rain last night. But I hope if y'all enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up. I think if you'll start this project, it really, I don't have hardly any money in it. Just scraps and leftovers that I had hanging around and made this little project. So that's the way I like it. Well, until next time, God bless.